Baseball is dead.
Rest in peace.
It's a Thursday episode, which means it's a Family Feud episode, and you know that it's presented by Factor. Fuel up your fall routine with Factor's no prep, no stress meals. Ready in just 2 minutes. Get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month with promo code BID50 at factormeals.com/BID50. We've got a loaded show for you folks today. As you know, it's Thursday, which means it is Family Feud Day. We've got some, usually there's not a ton of, actually we got some breaking news right now. It's not a huge breaking news, so I'm not going to hit the breaking news thing, but Hector Neris going to the Astros.
Back. He's back.
He's back to Houston. Yep.
What is does Hector Neris roll off like a 16 scoreless inning run right now after rejoining the Astros?
Yeah,
after just nobody being able to get him to figure it out.
Yeah. And like the fact that no one else wanted him, it's like, let me go back to a place that's familiar. Yeah. That seems like a tale as old as time, doesn't it, Dallas? Sure. So Hector Neris back to the Houston Astros, but we don't have to spend a ton of time on that because the big story today, usually, like I was saying, there's never a ton of big news on a Thursday because we just did a meaty pod on Wednesday and we're 24 hours later. But in the 24 hours since we've last met, Joey Votto has announced his retirement from baseball. That's when you know you've left a mark on the game is when fans outside. First of all, you've spent your entire career with one team. And fans throughout the game are feeling the loss of no more Joey Votto in Major League Baseball, which we didn't get him at all this year anyway. I know he signed a minor league deal with the Blue Jays and he was playing with the Buffaloes down in the minors and still battling injuries and whatnot. But he played his entire Major League career with the Cincinnati Reds, announcing his retirement ever so briefly on Instagram yesterday. He was kind of just like, yeah, so I'm done. No more baseball. That's it. I'm out. But yeah, I think now we were talking about Brandon Crawford maybe riding off into the sunset yesterday. Not a Hall of Fame career, but a career worth reflecting on when that time comes. But as far as Joey Votto goes, 17 big league seasons, over 2,000 games played, all with the Cincinnati Reds, a career batting average of .294, a career on base percentage of .409, a career slugging percentage of .511, a .920 career OPS, a 144 career OPS plus, 356 career homers, over 1,100 runs driven in, 459 doubles, an MVP award in 2010. He's got a runner-up for MVP in 2017, a sixth place finish in 2013, another sixth place finish in 2011, a third place finish in 2015, a seventh place finish in 2016, 6 All-Star selections, a Gold Glove award for the native of Toronto, Canada. It's Joey Votto riding off into the sunset with a career wins above replacement of 64.5. So, I mean, obviously right now, I think unless you guys want to put a bow on career accomplishments, I think the discussion immediately goes to Hall of Fame, right?
And I think with Joey Votto ranking, you go back and look like right now, like OPS plus, it's Lou Gehrig, Mark McGwire, Johnny Mize, Jeff Bagwell, and then Joey Votto.
Mm-hmm.
That's OPS plus. There's a lot of different categories where Joey Votto's name is sprinkled either in the top 5 or top 15, really. And I got to believe that makes a very, 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 very strong case for Joey Votto in the pantheon of first basemen throughout the history of our game to be planted squarely in the middle of that conversation.
Top 10 first baseman of all time?
I think the conversation is right there. Yes. Mm-hmm. Right there. Absolutely. Like he's not a top 5 first baseman of all time.
No. Top 10.
But it'd be egregious to say he's like top 15. He's right there, like 9 to 12, like somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm. I agree. He's also surrounded by Hall of Famers on the all-time wins above replacement list. Again, 64.5 is where he finished his career. Andre Dawson, Hall of Famer, 64.9. Craig Biggio, 65.5. Beneath him, Willie McCovey, 64.4 in the Hall of Fame. Dave Winfield, 64.2. Jackie Robinson, 63.9. Lou Boudreau, 63.2. So he is right smack dab in the middle of some Hall of Famers already as it pertains to career wins above replacement. It's very clear yes from me. I don't think that anyone else here is going to disagree with that. Hall of Famer Jayhay?
Absolutely. You go down the checklist. What do you look for in a Hall of Fame resume for a player? You look for career value. You guys just went over that. He's got it, right? He's one of the 10 best, give or take, dozen best first basemen basically in baseball history. You want peak value, right? Like sometimes I feel like people don't appreciate, just to go back to the career value thing, peak value is very important, and it definitely applies to Joey Votto. But I feel like some people underrate the duration, the quality that he, or the quantity that he gave as well, because his peak, if you want to look at it generously, could go as long as 14 seasons. You know what I mean? Like from 2008 to 21, his average year was a 937 OPS. So like, yes, there were weird parts about his profile as the journey went along. And I think, the lack of eye-popping power kind of moved some people off the scent when maybe they shouldn't have. But you look for career value, he's got that. You look for peak, he unquestionably has that. He has the MVP, as you said. He could very easily have 2 MVPs. And I just like, the other thing is that from a practical Hall of Fame voting perspective as to whether this man gets in or whether he doesn't, when Todd Helton got into the Hall of Fame, Joey Votto functionally got into the Hall of Fame. Like there's no way that you can put Todd Helton into the Hall of Fame and not put Joey Votto. So, and that's not in any way, this isn't a disparaging Todd Helton situation at all. These are both Hall of Fame caliber players. So, and both MVP caliber, peak level guys, but Joey Votto for sure. And I think what's interesting about Votto, last thing I'll say for now, is that if you magically transported his career to have started 10 or 15 years prior to when it did, I think his path to get into his career is awesome regardless, but I think his path to get into the Hall of Fame is actually more difficult, because I do think he benefits from something of an enlightened voter pool relative to where we were before, that are going to quote unquote overlook the fact that he only hit 356 home runs, right? Yeah. Like I was going to ask, that's not the profile of a traditional first baseman in the Hall of Fame.
So my only question was going to be, is it the lack of like big power? Would that be it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like that would be, I mean, cause you look at like Jay, I'm glad you said 2008, because 2008 is when he was receiving Rookie of the Year award votes, right? He came in second. And then from there, it was 7 out of 8 years where he was receiving MVP votes, where he was winning the MVP, whether those be down ballot performances or those be top 5 performances. You were getting that type of shit. Him leading the league in OBP and him leading the league in walks and all, like those things just overlap. Like it's just, the discipline combined with what the power was for Joey Votto is that right there is where I think those are separators, Jayhay, in terms of you plant him back in the day. That's why I love Gary Sheffield, because of the fucking power that dude possessed and the discipline that dude possessed, the lack of swing and miss over so when you get Joey Votto doing what he's done like that, it's just remarkable to see how he's been able to carve out this, what I believe to be a very distinct status in the first base world.
And so, well, Jayhay, you mentioned Todd Helton, right? And what was the big grievance with Todd Helton's Hall of Fame case?
As with every candidate that goes through there, was that he played his career in Coors Field.
So Joey Votto's career at home, a 930 OPS. hit 289 at home with a 930 OPS. On the road, 299 with a 912 OPS. You put Joey Votto in any ballpark and he's going to bang. A 920 OPS for his career and an OPS comfortably over 900, both at home, on the road for his entire career. For a player that played his entire team with one, or for his entire career with one team, it's not like he benefited greatly from playing in Cincinnati.
No, and I think it's good that people, to go back to the home run thing briefly, like there's no question that I'd rather have Joey Votto's career than people on the first baseman home run list who have 50 or even 100 more career home runs than Joey Votto. And I think we're going to end up having something of a similar, different personalities, but we're going to have something of a similar conversation in the end about Freddie Freeman, I think, when his Hall of Fame case comes up, because he's not going to have those eye-popping home run numbers. His peak was, really, as we all know, more like the 25 to 35 home run sort of contributions. But in the end, there's going to be no question that Freddie Freeman belongs in the Hall of Fame either. And I think as these types of first basemen, quote unquote, get recognized, it's going to make it easier for the subsequent person with that like rough profile of not being a 500 home run slugging first baseman.
Yeah, Freddie will get 400, right? He won't get 500.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, no, easily a Hall of Famer. And yeah, I mean, not to draw another player into this conversation unnecessarily, but like it just struck me looking at the WAR list and like people's perceptions and stuff like that. And I know wins above replacement is hardly the only stat, but like MLB put out a tweet last night saying end of an era at first base, basically, now that Pujols, Miggy, and Votto have all turned the page. And I feel like the vast majority of people looking at that tweet, or at least more than half, would say, if they had to say anything at all, would say, whoa, you're putting Joey Votto with Albert Pujols and Miguel Cabrera. And I think we're not adequately appreciating Joey Votto if we don't recognize the fact that him and Miguel Cabrera's career contributions are really, really close. Really, really close. Now, obviously, you'd rather have Miggy's career, I think, because he got the World Series and he's got the cool Triple Crown and all that. So he's got those sorts of extra stuff. But in terms of like statistical career contributions, like Joey Votto is right there with Miggy. And I'm very interested to see how their voting totals are reflected in that when they go to the Hall of Fame.
I think Miggy's going to get more love, but I think they're both
no
first
question.
ballot. Yeah,
yes, I think so
they're
too.
both first ballot. I mean, we've seen this with other guys, especially recently. I think Votto's good relationship with the media is also going to get him some favorable votes as well. The fact that he was so available to everyone, the fact that he was always a great quote, a vibrant personality within our game, that is going to help boost his voting percentage. But I think, yeah, at the end of the day, it's obvious that Miggy and Pujols are first ballot guys. With Votto, it should be obvious that he's first ballot, but it's fair to question whether or not that'll happen. I still think he's first ballot. I still think he gets in. I would be very surprised if he wasn't first ballot.
I feel really good about his chances, and I feel way better about his chances of being in on the first ballot than I did a year or 3 years or 5 years ago.
Yeah, I think it's an opportunity for a good guy who was good at baseball to make it really easy on the voters. And I think that is going to be, I don't think there's anybody out there that's looking for a reason to fucking bone Joey Votto. Like and whether you like it or not, I think that there's a lot of guys out there who have either said something or done something or whatever that somebody has taken an issue with, and they're like, no, this is just my stance. This is just how I feel. It's my personal perspective. It doesn't have to be yours, but that's how I feel about Miguel Cabrera. Okay, well, he's a Hall of Famer, and you're a fucking idiot for not acknowledging it. Well, like, that's just how that will go. Yeah. So Joey Votto doesn't have any of that.
No. Unless you're Mad Dog Russo, who I don't believe has a vote, but that was all in fun. Yeah, when he cut a wrestling promo on Mad Dog, which was great, by the way. So anyways, congratulations to Joey Votto on what we at Baseball is Dead believe is a Hall of Fame career.
No doubt.
Sticking with the Cincinnati Reds here, last night, Elly De La Cruz stole his 60th base, Jayhay. Can you put this in historical context for the people?
I don't know who's more relieved that it happened. Elly
You or him?
Elly or me, yeah. I almost flung my baby out of my arms last night when it happened. It happened! Yeah, 5th player ever to join the 20 home run, 60 stolen base club. He's the youngest of the 5 players to do it. That list includes, we've now had it in consecutive seasons, which is pretty cool, with Acuna in 23, Elly this season, and then 3 instances of Dallas's boy Ricky Henderson, 2 from Joe Morgan, and 1 in that, one of my favorite baseball reference things to look at, the 1986 season by Eric Davis. You'll notice that 3 of the 5 players to ever do it did it as Cincinnati Reds, which is kind of a cool little trivial note. But yeah, 2060 for Elly. Obviously, there's a real chance that he could get to 2070. I doubt he's going to get to 30 homers at his current pace, but he could get to 2070. And that list loses Joe Morgan and is just Davis, Henderson, and Acuna. So that could be, kind of cool in its own right. But just like, I don't know. He's a guy that, we were all very excited about, and like, what's year 2 going to bring? And 2060 is kind of its own trivial cutoff, but it's worth noting because like he has, it goes without saying to a point at this stage, but he has really built meaningfully on last season. And I just don't think that should be overlooked. And the fact that he's racking up a 22-60 season, with pretty good stolen base efficiency too, by the way. He's 60 of 72, which is a better rate than he did last season.
That's massive. That is massive.
Just very important. Yeah. So obviously a very fun player, but just pretty cool that we're getting to see this combination of speed and power on display from multiple players, across a multi-season span.
I'm kind of springing this on you, but where do you see him falling in the MVP voting? Is this a top 10 season? Is it a top 5 season in the National
League? Yeah, I think he's definitely going to finish, barring some sort of epic cold streak, which I guess he's kind of capable of. I do think he's going to finish comfortably in the top 5. I think that is, I'm not going to say those 5 are set in stone, but I do feel really confident that, assuming Ketel Marte can get back on the field, that the first 4 people, Lindor, Ohtani, De La Cruz, and Marte in some order, will end up getting MVP votes, because there's a pretty seismic gap between them and everybody else in the NL. And also the people that are behind them don't necessarily have the most compelling cases as MVPs, I don't think. So, I think he's going to finish easily in the top 5. And that's despite being on a team that's not in the conversation right now, which would only juice his case. I think statistically he's going to be easily a top 5 candidate in the NL.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to try and do a little search here. For out of the players that have attempted at least 35 stolen bases this year, he's 5th in stolen base percentage.
Yeah, there you go. With a high volume.
Right. Success rate.
Yep. And if you like Fangraph's base running stat, which I know drew some ire from Atlanta Braves fans when it was pointed out that Acuna wasn't the most valuable base runner despite having all those stolen bases last season, even though he was still an excellent base runner by this metric. If you like this stat, the 2 league leaders in this by leaps and bounds in 2024 are Corbin Carroll again and Elly De La Cruz. So by their metrics, he's adding real value on the base paths as well. Obviously, he's getting triples and doubles in addition to that stuff, and stretching and all, first to third, all that kind of stuff. But I think if we're grading like what would your sophomore season look like as a percentile ranking, and this is what he submitted, this has to be at bare minimum a 90th percentile outcome, I would think, for what Reds fans were hoping for.
I also think you have to note, when they make the bases bigger in order to create more stolen bases, and it's like, well, he stole 60 bases, but they made the bases bigger. Okay, he has 21 more stolen bases than the next closest guy, which is Shohei Ohtani. So that context also matters when you're talking about a 60 steal season for somebody. Like, is everyone else doing that, or anyone close to doing that? No, they're not. What?
I just laugh at the the stolen base notion. Like, it's, in my opinion, the size or the adjustment in the size of the base is negligible when it comes to that. I know that there's a big injury issue that was layered into that decision, but it's just funny to think that, you can absolutely say that, factor that in.
Yeah, I mean, put it this way:
they made the base bigger. Hold on, what?
Out of every player in the league who has attempted a stolen base this year, what do you think the average number of stolen bases is this season? In the year that Elly has stolen 60, what's the average number of stolen bases out of the players who have at least attempted a stolen base?
7.
6.3.
Yeah, I was going to say 5 or 6. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So there you go.
Gotta go. If you can go, you can go.
60 is a lot more than 6.3.
I would agree.
It is.
Damn near 10 times.
You know what, Jayhay? I think we found our next underdog promo.
Elly stolen base.
I think we should do that.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'll hit him up right now.
Please do.
All right.
Be on the lookout on that for this weekend. The MLB season's in full swing, and Underdog Fantasy wants to make it a lot more interesting. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Playing their pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on player stats, strikeouts, total bases, home runs, and so much more. Make entries of all baseball or mix and match across your other favorite sports. You can win up to 100 times your money, and it's a ton of fun. We got Jayhay on the horn right now to figure out if we can get an Elly De La Cruz promo going in regards to stolen bases as early as this weekend. That would be fantastic. So pay attention to our socials, the Underdog Picks Twitter page. Give them a follow as well. And we'll fire up some promos this weekend for little old Elly. Make sure you sign up with the promo code Jared, that's Jared, to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash and a special pick on Underdog. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code Jared. It's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. Next up here on the docket, Aaron Judge last night. Judgy, my guy, hit home runs number 46 and 47 last night, which, is par for the course for him. I think the big story here with Judge is this fucking Little League team coach that's slandering the good name of Aaron Judge. This coach is saying Judge showed up to the Little League Classic and just ignored the team or didn't acknowledge them and stiffed them and blah, 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 blah. I can only speak from personal experience here. I've seen, and I'm sure Yankee fans know much better than me, but at Fenway Park, I see teams come through all the time. Big stars, big name players. And you've got the fans that are down there for batting practice, and they're screaming the players' names, and they don't give a fuck. Like, they are not looking over. They're not even waving. They won't even roll them a ball. Aaron Judge, every time I have seen him come to Fenway, will take a round of BP, and he's got every fan, Red Sox fans, Yankee fans, out of town, neutral fans, screaming his name. And after every round, he'll go over there and he'll talk to people. He won't, and I've also seen guys that'll go over there and they'll, take the picture. They won't say a word to you, but they'll take a picture. They'll sign something. They won't say anything. Judge is talking to fans. He's taking pictures with fans. He's signing jerseys. He's signing baseballs. He's going up to kids. Doesn't matter if you're wearing a Red Sox jersey. He's going up to the kids in Red Sox jerseys, taking his time with everyone, having conversations. So the idea that Aaron Judge is just some player that would stiff a Little League team at the Little League Classic, not something that if it happened, 100% I can say with conviction was unintentional. That's not something that is Aaron Judge's MO or in his character or his DNA or what he's about. So that Little League coach, I mean, Jesus Christ, dude, do a little bit of homework on the guy before you try to fucking slander one of the biggest stars in baseball today.
My guess is that Little League coach had a child on the Little League team. And my guess is that child didn't get an autograph.
Yeah, maybe.
And my guess is that was potentially translated in a way that got him really pissed off and fired up at Aaron Judge for a reason I'm sure he's thinking about today and going, yeah, I was probably off there. That's probably on me. That's my bad. Because
the ego, Dallas, did you see that? Did you read the story?
No,
This coach was like, I'm paraphrasing, but the gist of it was David Cohn went up to the guy and he was like, I didn't even know who he was. David Cohn came up to me and he knew who I was. I didn't know who he was.
What the fuck? What?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm all right. I don't even want to hear another word out of this dude's mouth.
Yep.
I don't want to hear. I could.
Same
what?
guy. Same
Disrespected
guy.
Cody like that?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Bro, come on.
Right?
And you're in New York. He's a New Yorker?
I think they're Staten Island. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. You don't know who David fucking Cohn is?
That's crazy to me too.
Are
Yeah.
you serious?
You're going to complain.
Like,
you're going to complain you don't get Yankee autographs and you don't know who David Cohn is? Get fucked, dude.
This fucking guy came up to me. I had no idea. I was trying to get fucking Judge's attention. This fucking guy comes up. Hey, yeah, I'm David Cohn. Yeah, right, fucking right. You're David Cohn. I had no fucking idea who David Cohn is. Get out of my face, Cohn. I'm looking for fucking Judge. What an idiot.
Yeah. Complete asshole.
Idiot. I've watched Aaron Judge. I'm so glad you said that. You know what I'm going to do? When they come to Oakland, I'll go ahead and take video of that and just shove it right down that fucking coach's throat. But I watched when we were in town, we had a coach who had his kids there, and his kids were standing behind the rope, right? So you wouldn't know that they were his children or a coach's children unless you knew the coach and knew that those were his kids. So his kids are back there, and Judge just so happened to walk up to them. And when that happened, I was like, yo, hey, come on, dudes. Because I know the kids. I was like, come out from around the thing. And so they come out from around the thing, from around the rope. Now Judge, like, it's explained, yo, these are our first base coach's children. He's like, oh, shit, Bones. Like, blah, blah, blah. So from there, like, Judge fucking took a knee, starts breaking down, like, hitting and, like, what he wants to do for these little guys. And, like, this is what you got to do. Like, completely unprompted. Completely unprompted. Like, here, just a picture. Judge, take a picture. Mr. Judge, can you take a picture? And then from there, it turned into a fucking hitting lesson right by the cage in Yankee Stadium. Like, Mike Trout does that shit all the time. These dudes, this is something that I hate about, I hate for these guys, is they can make such an impact with a swipe of a pen, with a click of a photo, and they know that. And they don't have the opportunity to do that in front of, 300 people at a time, because they just wouldn't be able to go and do what they need to do. They just wouldn't be able to do it. So what they do is, in those small moments, in those intimate moments, they make a life moment for these people and for these kids and their family. Like, could you imagine Aaron Judge taking a knee for 10 minutes and going over hitting during his hitting rounds with you or with anybody you fucking know? Like, what that would do for those kids and for that family, and it's incredible. And he does it every day. Every day they're out early. Every day they're meeting with people who've been brought in by the corporate sponsorships. Hey, this person does this. This person is tied to you in this way. Do you mind? Yeah, I got 5 minutes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Those kids are going to hold a grudge for life, though. So, Dallas, you remember I think it was 2019 when you were doing the tour of Saugus and you went to my old barbershop?
Yeah, I remember.
So you went to my old barbershop, 2019. It's George's Barbershop. It's the oldest barbershop in America, and it's in Saugus, Massachusetts. And Mike cut my hair. His father was George. I believe George's is named after George's father, but he's also George. And on the wall, there's a painting of a locker, and you can see Larry Bird's jersey is hanging, and I think it's Bobby Orr's jersey is hanging, and Tom Brady's jersey is hanging. And then there's just a Red Sox jersey, but it's turned so you can't see the back. It's the only one that's facing forward, and it says Red Sox. And the story behind that is because when George was a kid, his Little League team won a contest to go to Fenway to meet Ted Williams.
And he got Heisman.
And Ted Williams did not come out to meet this team. And God rest his soul, George Moriello held a grudge until the day he died, would not, he had all the, like he acknowledged like, all right, yeah, like if we're going to have the Mount Rushmore of Boston athletes, it's Ted Williams, sure, but fuck him. And he had the jersey turned the other way. So these Staten Island kids are probably going to feel bitter about Aaron Judge until the day that they die.
And you know what? I'm more than okay with that. If that's how that goes,
peace out.
Keep that energy. Keep that energy.
This is, speaking of energy, so glad you said that. This is the most little tyrant, little league coach energy that I've seen or felt since I was in Little League and experiencing that sort of energy from kids' parents who were so obnoxious that they literally got banned from coaching in the Little League. It's like, I don't even know how I would, if that had been my dad back in the day, how I would look at that person now. I'd be like, yo, you were a sociopath. But anyway, as an aside, I have basically no sympathy for the coach and the team in this scenario. Not like animosity towards the kids, but I'm just saying like, there's no sympathy to be had because there are multiple video accounts, social and otherwise, of Aaron Judge being absolutely mobbed by people and kids upon arrival at the Little League World Series. So to everything you and Dallas just said, he immediately has to navigate that scenario upon arrival. So you're going to disappoint a large number of people, guaranteed, no matter what, because of the schedule that he must keep per Dallas's comments. Secondly, this coach and his team received personal like meet and greet opportunities with a list of Yankees players and coaches that included, per Yahoo, Garrett Cole, DJ LeMahieu, Nestor Cortez, Jason Dominguez, and Aaron Boone. Like you can be internally mildly disappointed that Aaron Judge was not included in the list of personal meet and greets if that's how you want to feel. But this idea that this team was not treated to some sort of special opportunity or special experience while they were there is just incredible entitlement. There's video of Garrett Cole interacting with these kids and doing autographs. That's a Cy Young winner last season that they're getting the opportunity to do that with. And like, I'm sorry if you guys already said this, but I didn't remember hearing it. The coach gave the quote that these guys, these kids / we pay his salary in reference to Aaron Judge. He pulled the "we pay your salary" move. And I probably don't need to tell any listener of this podcast that I'm not here for that kind of talk as it relates to players and their compensation. So like that just, I know who this coach is, even though I don't have any idea who this coach is. You know what I mean? And
that's what people usually say to cops as they're getting hauled off to jail.
Yes, basically. He's got big, do you know who I am? I'm the Little League coach of Staten Island, South Staten Island, as he's getting hauled off to jail energy. But yeah, no, like, and you can tell from the Yankees team response and from Aaron Judge's and Aaron Boone's basically different versions of, I'm not going to dignify that with a responses. You can tell there's a subtle vitriol or frustration that is coming from the Yankees side about how this guy is treating the situation. And I'm never going to jump to take the Yankees side on, or a team side on anything, but it seems very, very clear that this guy's just acting like an asshole. And that it reflects badly on him, obviously, don't care about that, but it also reflects badly on a bunch of kids who probably have no interest in him behaving like this in public.
He's just trying to stir up cancel culture, man. Just trying to get a fucking rally going online. That's
it's
all
funny when that turns
tired.
itself on you, huh? Yeah.
Fucking
when you try and stir it up and you're the one who's everybody's like, wait a second. It's like that Reddit page. Like, am I the asshole? You know, you are the asshole, dude. You shouldn't have posted this.
The Yankees actually released a statement. I'm trying to find the whole thing.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the
terse.
Late Tuesday, the Yankees, who actually pay Judge's salary, issued a response. Win or lose, we intend to invite them to Yankee Stadium, a team statement reads. However, it would have been much better if Staten Island's coach called us to understand the facts before bitterly reacting in such a public fashion. Reaching out to us would have been the prudent way to act and would have sent a fine example for his young players. Aaron Judge always acts with kindness and respect. The coach could learn a lot from him. The Yankees were basically just like, fuck you, dude. I love that.
Love that.
Yeah, like that, like you could tell, like it's almost like George Steinbrenner came back from the dead to write that statement. Like, hey, suck our dicks, fuck you. Aaron Judge is a great person. I hope your team fucking loses out, but you can definitely come back to Yankee Stadium as a guest.
I
10% off tickets for you guys.
I envision Brian Cashman personally writing that response.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, just
like I've got 30 years in this building. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
that's very similar to the shit that I said to the media when they asked me, like with the A-Rod shit when that happened. They were trying to set me up and just get me to pull other people into it. And they were like, well, like what if Derek Jeter did that? You're like, would the response have been the same? And I said, oh, no, not at all. First of all, the captain would never do that. And I got to believe that that's something that if A-Rod would have paid attention to, a lesson he would have learned. And he could probably learn a lot from the guy to his left, his captain. And then left it at that.
The Dodgers swept the Mariners. In Dallas, Shohei Ohtani is now 1 home run and 1 stolen base away from a 40-40 season.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
That is the prop. That is what the fans need to get excited about. That is what the fans need to have locked in on right now. 40-40 watch. I don't know how, like, we're not on, we got to be. Have they talked about it on MLB Network yet? 40-40 watch. Like, I'm going to say this. I think he does it in the same game.
Yeah.
He's going to do it in the same game. He's going to hit a
It
homer.
depends on the order. Like, if he homers, he's going to try to swipe
I don't even care
the
what
bag.
order. I don't care what order. If he gets walked in the first inning, he's stealing fucking second base. I promise you that. And after that, he'll come up in the third or fourth and pump one out of the yard, and then he might not take his third at bat. I don't know. I think he probably will. But I do think that that's happening same day.
Is Shohei Ohtani a rip the bag out of the ground guy?
No. Nope.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
You're going to, like, you're not going to know. You're going to have no idea. He's going to give you one of these. And that's it.
I don't even know if he does that, honestly.
Well, I mean, they're going to stop the fucking game. People are going to be like cheering, and I know that it might be a pitch timer rule, pitch violation. You didn't request it from the commissioner's office. Like, is that just a standing note that you send out every day?
The Dodgers
Ohtani might go 40-40.
The Dodgers are home this weekend. So,
yeah, I tell you right now, the minute he hits 40, the minute he steals 40, they're going to lose their shit because they know there's only one of the two left to achieve. That's
He'll
going
be the
down.
fastest. He'll be the fastest by games played, almost certainly, unless he, something terrible happens. And sixth player ever to do it. And it's a mixed bag on the list, I think is the nice way to say it in terms of the legacy of that 40-40 over time. And I do think I do think
Jay,
having
what's the purest? Give us the purest list.
No. I'm not like that.
I know.
No. I'm just saying it's like, that 2060 list is like nice and pure in a way. You know what I mean? You've got some of the great people that you would expect to see there. This one, it's, the Rod and Bonds and Canseco and
Soriano didn't get on the sauce until after he retired.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, he got all jacked afterwards. He needed to stay lean to steal those bases.
Mm-hmm.
No, but this once again obviously would be back-to-back seasons because again, Ronald Acuna did both of these things last season.
Why would you do that, by the way?
What?
Play Major League Baseball for like 15 years and then hop on the sauce after you retire? Like, what's up with that?
To feel it.
I guess.
I told you that's what I want to do.
If you're bald already, why not?
Yeah, fuck it. I'm not worried about the hair pattern.
I guess. Good for him.
What's it like to walk around 230, feel like you could throw shit through a wall?
Yeah. I mean, but you're right, Dallas. Like, I'm just about going to slap a Bob guarantee on this that Shohei Ohtani ends up getting 40-40 on the same night. Home run and stolen base.
Not many Bob guarantees slapped around.
Mm-mm.
that's happening. That's who he is. He's not half-assing this. Like, he's going to get 40-40 in one swoop. Like, here it is. You need the bag. You need the homer. No problem. Read the paper. Told you I was awesome.
Can I say one more thing about Ohtani? Just,
please,
without glazing him too hard. It's just cool that every season it feels like we get to celebrate or zero in on something unique and cool that Ohtani is achieving in baseball. Like, historically speaking, like, you obviously have, he's obviously won multiple MVPs, but that second MVP was him taking his offensive level to a game that we had never seen before, and just kind of going crazy. That was just, his offensive season was much better in 23 than it was in 21 when he won the MVPs. And in 22, the season in between then, with the benefit of hindsight, I think in a lot of ways that was the best pitching performance that we've seen from him in what will be 2 or 3 seasons over that span. That was something cool and a new wrinkle. Oh, he's like a frontline starter in 22. And this year we're getting to watch him go for 40-40. I mean, he's already got 13 more stolen bases than he's ever stolen in a previous season. And he has a really great shot at setting his career high in home runs as well. So it's just every year, man. It's just like, he's just such a cool, unique player. And it's great we live in this time that we do here in 2024.
Poor man's version of an Ohtani from the past. And this is like contextually why Ohtani is so crazy to watch do what he's doing. Think about how much we fell in love with, or at least I fell in love with watching Rick Ankiel do what he did coming back, right? Oh, you did what you did on the mound and it was impressive. And obviously things took a turn, but then you come back and you're a center fielder in the big leagues. Like, you're raking. Like, this is crazy. Like, damn, what an athlete, right?
Yeah.
And this dude's doing it again simultaneously, and then just like, switching back year to year. Oh, I'll be the best hitter.
Yeah.
I'll be one of the best pitchers. Like,
we're up against the Dallas clock here. We got less than 10 minutes to sneak in Family Feud.
Oh shit. All right. Wow.
I didn't realize that was a quick hour.
You lose track when you're having fun.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't, if you had asked me how long have we been recording for, I would have said 25 minutes. It's
30 minutes.
Yeah.
No
problem.
Yeah. All right. Family Feud time.
All right. Welcome back to Baseball is Dead Family Feud. I'm your man, Justin Havens. Listen, I'm going to tell you what the Discord is saying, okay? The Discord is saying that I have made it too easy on you guys now, and that these questions are just, it's charity for you, is what they're saying, basically.
That's how I know they're trying to fuck us, Dallas. Like, they're mad that we're winning. That's crazy.
I popped into the Family Feud channel on the Discord, and they were basically calling me a fraud. They said
we lost like 2 or 3 weeks in a row.
Jayhay needs to jack up the intensity of these questions. I think one person even questioned my effort, which you never want to do.
So here we go. Questions going to start like this. Once upon a time. Great.
Yeah, I think I talked to Jake ahead of time. We're making the time limit 3.5 minutes so that I have time to read the questions. All right, which of you is going first?
It's my turn.
All right. The starter is going to the bullpen. See you later, Dallas. All right, buddy. Let's see. The last question is a little long, okay, but its format will be familiar to you. So, again, Discord says it's too easy, so I don't think you should be intimidated. Is it too easy? I don't know. I guess we'll find out in a little bit. Are you ready, Jared?
I am.
Are you ready, Jake?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. As always, it's out of 100 Baseball is Dead fans. Here are the results. Question 1. In what place will Jackson Merrill finish in the NL Rookie of the Year this season?
First.
How many postseason appearances will the combination of Justin Verlander and Clayton Kershaw make this postseason? So starts or relief appearances.
4.
No team is on pace for 100 wins this season. What will be the highest win total in MLB this season?
96.
In what position will Francisco Lindor finish in the NL MVP this season?
4th.
Between these options, miss the postseason, lose the wild card, lose the DS, lose the championship series, lose the World Series, or win the World Series, what will happen with the 2024 Brewers?
Lose the division series.
Thank you. You're back. Come on back.
Come on back.
Oh, geez. He's celebrating already. Look at that. Look at that cocky son of a bitch. He's already setting off fireworks. That's crazy. You haven't even gotten a point yet.
It's true.
He can't even hear me either. This guy.
How does he lose us just from taking them off?
I don't know. He just takes them off and it's like, oh, just fucking leave and come back.
Yeah.
Hello, Dallas. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Dallas? Can you hear me? Hello. You back?
Wait.
Hello, this is Justin.
There we go.
Havens. There we go. We can hear you. Killing it.
How'd we do?
All right, buddy. We did fine. Do you want to know his point total?
No. Nope. No, I don't.
Wow. Okay. Here we go. Are you ready? Jake, do you have the soundboard or am I making the sound?
I got it.
Jared's got it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you know what's up. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Great. That's even easier because you know what you said. I have Jared's point total written down. As always, you're trying to get to 200 points. Dallas, don't let everybody down. The last question is a little wordy, but the format, you will recognize it. Ready? Here we go.
Right.
As always, it's out of 100 BID fans. Jake, are you ready?
Let's go.
Question 1. In what place will Jackson Merrill finish in the NL Rookie of the Year this season?
First. Second.
How many postseason appearances, so starts plus relief appearances, will the combination of Justin Verlander and Clayton Kershaw make this postseason?
5.
No team is on pace for 100 wins this season. What will be the highest win total in MLB this season?
95.
In what position will Francisco Lindor finish in the NL MVP this season?
Third.
Between these options, miss the postseason, lose the wild card, lose the DS, lose the championship series, lose the World Series, or win the World Series, what will happen with the 24 Brewers?
They will lose the DS. The fucking one after the CS.
Thank you. I love that, man.
The
That's
fucking
so good.
one after.
I love that the fucking guy with the stones to pitch in the major leagues is the one who loses his shit over fucking podcast Family Feud. That's so good.
My
The
anxiety
one
is
after.
through the fucking roof.
The one after, he says.
Well, I mean,
right.
I got him making the division, so I don't got him shit. Sorry.
All right, here we go. Question 1. In what place will Jackson Merrill finish in the NL Rookie of the Year? Jared said first. That was the second best answer with 22 points. Question 2. How many appearances will the combination of Clayton Kershaw and Justin Verlander make in the postseason in 2024? Jared said 4. That was the number 2 answer. That was also worth 22 points. So he has 44 points through 2 points, or 2 questions. Question 3. No team is on pace for 100 wins this season. What will be the highest win total in MLB this season? Jared said 96. That was the third best answer for 12 points. So he's up to 56 through 3. Fine pace. In what position will Francisco Lindor finish in the NL MVP this season? Jared said 4th. That was the second best answer for another 21 points, bringing him up to 77 through 4. Question 5. Between all those options for the 24 Brewers, what will happen? Jared came through with the number 1 answer to end his round on a high note, worth 50 points. That was lose the division series. Jared exited with 128, correct, Jake?
Yep, that's what I got.
Great.
That's going to be the one that fucks me.
So Dallas needed 72 points to win. Did he come through? The Jackson Merrill question, Rookie of the Year. Dallas, you came through with the number one answer, was second with 56 points.
Let's fucking go. Let's go.
That brings you all the way up to 184 with 4 questions left. You need 16 points.
Hey, Discord.
How many postseason appearances will the combination of Justin Verlander and Clayton Kershaw make this postseason? Dallas came up with 5. That was tied for the third best answer. He needs 16. It was worth 16 points.
It's what we do, Carabas. It's what we do.
You guys get it done with 3 questions still left on the board. Dallas to clean up his round, the 100-point question, or the 100-win question, or who will be the highest win total. Dallas had 95. That was tied for the 4th best answer. That got him 5 points, so we're at 205. The number one answer there was 98 for 29 points. That obviously had the largest spread of any question. The Lindor MVP question, Dallas came through with the number one answer. That was third. That was 39 points. So 244. And then the Brewers question, you got losing the championship series after a little bit of struggle there. That was the third best answer for 12 points. Lose the DS, as we alluded to with Jared, was the overwhelming number one answer there. So the total was 256. So the verdict, I think, other than congratulations to you guys on another on another win, is that I'm going to have to make it a little bit more difficult next week. And that, Discord, I'm going to need you too.
Get fucking smacked, Discord. Get fucking smacked. Talking all that shit in the hood. Ain't got no money, Discord. Ain't got, I don't mean a bit of this. I thank you for the challenge. It's a great warm up in the morning. I appreciate it. You know I love you.
Feels good to win another one.
Feels good to win another one. So good. Such a great morning trajectory. I'm going to go sit in traffic for an hour and a half on the way to a ball game that's going to have 1,200 people at it. So I needed this.
I'm facing Jonathan Papelbon tonight, Dallas.
You about to
in what?
Drill
baseball?
This is gonna be
in that charity thing?
If he doesn't fucking drill you, I am going to be so disappointed in him.
Why would you drill me in a charity game? It's for the kids.
That's what we're doing. We're giving the people what they want. One right in the fucking rib cage.
It's for the kids.
Oh, well, good luck with that. Good luck with that. I saw that. I am, if you're in the Boston area, which is where this is going down, correct?
Cambridge, yes.
Yeah, get out there, go support that. I wish we had cool shit like that going down in my area where people were just like, yeah, let's throw on a bunch of fucking old-timey baseball clothes. And
you got to play one year.
I would absolutely fucking play. Are you kidding me? That would, yes.
It's every year.
Yeah. Do you guys don't even wear gloves, right?
I'm not playing the field. No, we have gloves, but I'm retired from the field. I'm just getting an AB.
You're the EH.
Yeah, I lost the ball in the lights last year, and I was like, I'm done.
Did it hit you in the face, or did you?
No, it landed like 40 feet behind me. I saw it go up in the lights, didn't see it come down. I was like, that's it. That's when I knew.
Still one of the single greatest moments for me with Jared.
That's scary, man.
Fuck.
He's out here playing softball with me in Simi Valley at a fucking ball. He took maybe a half. I don't even know if he took a step. He thought about coming in and was just like, oh, fuck. All right, boys, I got to get out of here.
All right, Dallas.
Peace.
See you next week.
I'm out.
Finally, some peace.
Triple J.
Some peace. Piggybacking off of one of the questions there in Family Feud about Jackson Merrill.
Yeah.
It is time to talk about Jackson Merrill. And there is a reason why I picked him number one to be the Rookie of the Year in the National League for a multitude of reasons. I think we can start right now with he's having the best season of any rookie in the National League. You look at Fangraphs, pull that up real quick. Jackson Merrill, 3.9 wins above replacement to lead all National League rookies. Tyler Fitzgerald of the Giants, 3.3. Mason Wynn, 2.8. Jackson Churio, 2.7. Joey Ortiz, also of the Milwaukee Brewers, 2.5. I'm not saying it's a lock, but as of today, I mean, like, you talk about Tyler Fitzgerald, that's 3.3 WAR in 66 games compared to 123 games for Jackson Merrill. 466 plate appearances for Merrill, 221 plate appearances for Fitzgerald, and they're separated by basically half a win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he has any real competition on the position player side. I think his best competition comes from the pitchers, and I would say that's Paul Skeens and Imanaga.
Sure.
And I think the comments from the Pirates, or at least like maybe it was a Rosenthal column and not comments, but like this idea that the Pirates could look to kind of slow Skeens' workload down, I do think is going to give Jackson Merrill the edge moving forward. And to your point, like, Skeens leads in Baseball Reference WAR among all NL rookies, but that's not necessarily like Jackson Merrill is a very deserving and would be a deserving winner of the NL MVP. Like people can say that we haven't talked about him. Rookie of the year. People can say that we don't talk about him enough, and that's technically true right up until this moment. But I also think that's because he got off to a fine for a rookie, like a solid, good start to the season. And his best work has been over the last 40 or so games. And to that end, since June 9th, Jackson Merrill is one of 11 position players in baseball who have been worth 3 or more wins above replacement by Fangraphs. And the only other people in the NL who fit that characteristic are Lindor, Elly De La Cruz, and Shohei Ohtani. So arguably, in whatever order you want to put those, the top 3 or maybe 3 of the top 4 NL MVP candidates is the level at which Jackson Merrill has been playing for basically 2.5 months or 2 months and change at this point. It's extremely impressive. And yeah, I was, when the idea that Jackson Merrill was or should be the NL favorite for MVP or for why do I keep doing that? For NL Rookie of the Year, was brought to my attention like a couple of weeks ago, I kind of scoffed to myself. I was like, I don't know about that. Like, isn't it just Skeens' award to lose?
Mm-hmm.
And while I would probably still vote for Skeens if the award was literally voted on today, for reasons that we already outlined, and Merrill's own play in the subsequent weeks, I do think he has overtaken. I don't know what the betting markets say, but I think he's overtaken Skeens sort of in the sentiment or national conversation, because not only is he doing it offensively, as I outlined, like 964 OPS over that stretch since June 9th, but he is a highlight worthy defensive player at different points as well. So he's getting attention on both sides, deservedly so. And it's one of the more impressive rookie seasons that we've seen in recent history.
The reason why I think I was so quick to crown, or I guess not crown Paul Skeens is a better way to put it. We don't really see starting pitchers win the award that often. I feel like it's an award that does often go to position players. I mean, that's not saying that they can't win it. Like they have, we've seen relief pitchers win it. I mean, Devin Williams won it in 2020. Michael Fulmer won it in 2016. Jeremy Hellickson won it in 2011. Kimbrel won it as a reliever also in 2011. DeGrom, Jose Fernandez. But I would say over 80% of the time it goes to a position player. But yeah, it is a special case with Skeens. Like we're talking generational. It's not just like, hey, this dude popped up out of nowhere. Like it's not like a Michael Fulmer situation where it's, great year for a rookie pitcher. But the hype for Fulmer is nowhere close to what it is for Skeens, obviously.
No, and intuitively what you're saying about who typically wins the Rookie of the Year makes sense, right? Because what restrictions do first year or rookie or young starting pitchers have that A, a reliever, and B, a position player are not really going to face? And that's an inherent innings cap on what their teams are likely to have them do in their rookie season. So you very often get not very often, but you frequently get rookie position players who are accumulating 500, 600 plate appearances in a given season because teams aren't going to cap a rookie's plate appearances necessarily, whereas you are not often going to have a starting pitcher who is given the full complement of 30 or 32 starts in a given season. So, the other interest, like I know they're all kind of being grouped together, just because of their first name and the fact that they're rookies. But I do think it's now become something of an interesting parlor conversation where it's like, which of those three would you pick to build around moving forward? Like if you had to make that decision, are you choosing Jackson Holliday, Jackson Chourio, or Jackson Merrill? And I think if we could go back in time and take that poll at the start of the season, I think the numbers would look very, very different right now if we redid that poll. Like it feels to me like if we done it at the start of the season, that something like 75 or 80% of the people would have taken Jackson Holliday, and the remaining people would have taken Chourio. And now I think it feels like it would be something much closer to a 33-33-33 split. And I think deservedly so. I think it's a legitimately difficult question to answer.
I'm going to put that poll out right now, and we'll look at the results at the end of the show.
That's great. Yeah, we'll get a large enough sample from your account to be able to do some real analysis there.
How would you like me to phrase the question? If you could start a team with any one of these players, you could start a team today with any one of these players, who are you taking? You know what I've noticed with polls is that whoever you list first. So I'm gonna put Holiday last, just because I feel like everyone's gonna look for him. So we'll go Merrill second, and Jackson Holliday.
Love it. I can't wait to vote. I don't know who I'm going to vote for, though. It's a really hard question. I feel like it's one where my answer could change yearly on this podcast.
Good.
Yeah, that's okay. We're allowed to change our minds.
Okay. Here we go. I'm going to set it to... How many hours? I'm going to set it to 2 hours, but we'll have results by the end of the show. Jackson Chourio, Jackson Merrill, Jackson Holliday. If you could start a team today with any one of these players, who are you taking?
Yes.
Post.
Nailed it.
Okay. It's out. It's live. The poll's live. If you're listening to this podcast right now, no, you can't vote because it's only up for 2 hours.
It is pretty cool, though, that you got to kind of see the behind the scenes of a poll creation and process.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Kind of like the brains brewing.
Mm-hmm.
You get
already
different
126 votes. Jackson Merrill, 42.9%. Jackson Holliday, 39%.
Oh, Chourio coming out cold.
Yep. Chourio, 17.5%.
All right, still early, though.
Still early. It's only been 90 seconds. But already over 100 votes. So we'll check back in. Oh, we're at 200 votes. Who do you think is going to win? Is it going to be Jackson Merrill, you think?
I think recency bias will win out. And maybe it's the correct answer anyway, but I think Jackson Merrill is going to win the poll. I don't know if that's the right answer.
Jackson Holliday just took over.
Oh my gosh. See, look at how fast I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's how quickly these polls move. It's very exciting. This is probably the best pod content we've done. Just poll monitoring.
Yeah. I'm addicted to polls, dude. Fucking love a good poll. Jackson Holliday lost the lead. It's Jackson Merrill now. I mean, I think we're seeing now that Jackson Chourio has no shot to win this poll.
Yeah, you would think that if he was going to have a chance to win, that he would have gotten a share of the lead at some point in the first 2 or 3 minutes. And well, maybe here's the deal. Maybe Jackson Chourio will use the results of this poll and our conversation as motivation. Although we just gave him love yesterday. We just did the Brewers. Jackson Holliday is the one who should be like, where's my love now?
Mm-hmm.
He'll probably hop on the Reddit page and be like, these guys never talk about Jackson Holiday, and the username will be like Jay Holiday, you know,
Could
Matt
be.
Holiday's son.
It just says M Holiday. Why the fuck don't you guys talk about Jackson Holiday? It's a tie
By the way,
race.
why don't you throw in a little Matt Holiday reminiscing too while you're in?
Yeah. Yeah. Talk about that
I had a
Cardinals
great career.
contract.
Hall
Talk
of
about
very
that.
good. A lot of people are saying Hall of Fame.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying that. Why don't you talk about that fucking home run off of what was his fucking name? Lefty. Brian Fuentes? No. I think Fuentes was on the Rockies at the time. Who did he hit a home run in the World Series off I want to say it was a lefty. Who the fuck did we have? Franklin Morales? Matt?
Wait, was it? You're saying it was a former Rocky?
No, I'm saying
Yeah,
I
okay.
believe it was a lefty. Don't tell me.
I think I know who it is.
Is it Franklin Morales?
I don't know. I'm going to look now.
I'm going to fucking look.
Wait, you're saying Matt Holiday hit the home run?
Matt Holliday hit a home run in the World Series against the Red Sox.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah, it was game 3. It didn't matter because the
Wow.
Red Sox swept their ass.
I do. Yeah, I remember sweeping that ass.
Yeah, that ass. That ass got swept, dude. This is Tyler Milliken's favorite World Series of all time. It was the worst World Series ever played. Oh, shit. It was off Hideki Okajima.
Oh no!
Wow. All-star in
The
2007.
Okie doke.
Yeah, okie dokie. Okajima, okie dokie, okie dokie, Okajima. You ever hear the okie dokie song?
I don't really remember the Okie dokie song.
Oh.
I mean, I remember Okajima plenty, but
You don't know the fucking okie dokie song and you call yourself a baseball fan?
no, I hate baseball. Who told you I was a fan?
I mean,
Shit's
I'll tell you
so
right
dead.
now. You know who knows the fucking the okie dokie song? Jake does.
I believe that.
Okajima, okie dokie.
I think we played it on Section 10 a couple months ago.
Yeah, dude, it's the fucking best song.
Whoa.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Imagine if you were at the club, like a real
yeah.
club where you pay real money to get
This is-
into.
I would
and,
never
like,
go to
some
a club.
exotic town.
This is how you get me to go. Okie dokie. Yeah. That song's fucking incredible. And this is what he would come out to.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, pretty good.
Maybe I should come out to the Okajima song
Yeah, you should.
every morning when I wake up.
We're over at 1,100 votes right now. We are 5 minutes into the poll. 1,179 votes submitted. Jackson Churio, 17.2%. Jackson Merrill, 39.2%. And Jackson Holiday, 43.6%.
Okay. Well, the people are speaking.
Yeah. Does this feel accurate to you, or are you surprised by the results?
Not really. The only thing, this is not even hindsight, but the only thing that would have surprised me is if Churio won.
Yeah.
Seriously, because Holiday's got the sex appeal and the name value coming into the season, and Merrill's played the best this season. So any of those outcomes feel fine. I mean, Churio could end up being the best of them for sure. He's played his own great baseball, as we outlined, but maybe not quite as headline grabbing as Merrill. And I think his depth this season, his start was also significantly colder and less productive than Merrill's worst play.
I feel like the first 10 minutes of the poll are the most accurate minutes of the poll, because then you run the risk of Padres Twitter sees this poll and they're like, are you fucking kidding me? Jackson Holliday's leading. And then they tweet it out and it becomes a popularity contest at that point. But I feel like it's a pretty accurate representation right now. Less than 10 minutes into the poll, we've got over 1,500 votes, 44% Holiday, 38.7% Merrill, and Churio is just happy to be there.
Well, all right. Thank you for the feedback. That's real-time stuff.
Yeah, it's big time. It's close, though. Like, you can say 39 and 43%. That's a toss-up.
Absolutely. Yep.
But it's a dogfight out here.
As it should be. It's not a clear answer. It would be weird if it was.
I think the only clear answer that we've come up with here today is that Hideki Okajima has the best song out of any reliever, maybe in modern baseball history.
It's the best one I've heard this season, and he's not even playing.
No.
So it'd be cool if he did, though. Maybe he should think about bringing it back. We saw what Edwin Diaz's entrance song did for him back a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
You know, Okajima's got a different arsenal. But
Splitty. Lefty split. Yeah. You don't see that a ton.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Another reason to come back so we can see it.
Yeah. He's back every now and then. I don't know what he does, but he does come back. Shout out to Hideki Okajima. He always gets play on the pods. Just made it. Pitch, so. I believe he was an all-star. He was a vote in that year in 2007. But yeah, big X Factor guy. Speaking of Factor, warmer, sunnier days are calling. Fuel up for them with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals in time for summer thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, which we are very busy, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. Make today the day that you kickstart a new healthy routine. What are you waiting for? With 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, you'll always have new flavors to explore. Crush your wellness goals this month with dietitian approved meals that with ingredients that you absolutely can trust. Make your day delicious from breakfast to dessert. Stay fueled with easy, nutritious options. Treat yourself to restaurant quality meals that feature premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, and blackened salmon. Keep kitchen time to a minimum. Factor meals are ready in just 2 minutes, Jayhay. 2. No shopping, no prepping, fast. No cooking, no cleaning up. Enjoy effortless support for your lifestyle. Choose from 6 menu preferences to help you manage your calories, maximize protein intake, avoid meat, or simply just have a well-balanced diet. Head to factormeals.com/BID50 and use the promo code BID50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That is promo code BID50 at factormeals.com/BID50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. Speaking of the Rookie of the Year races over here in the American League, the Yankees have placed Luis Gil on the 15-day injured list with a back injury. I feel like, we don't have to spend a time on the actual race, but have you got Colton Cowser kind of blowing past everyone right now?
It's an interesting question because I think you would have to say unequivocally for the first huge chunk of the season, like Luis Gil felt like that sort of guy, right? And it's tough to decide like how much to weight a guy going down injured at this point in the season and missing. Cause like, I know Cowser leads them in wins above replacement, but like Gil's contributions, I feel like have been more impactful on like a quality level. But I do. So you think Colton Cowser is just kind of like, we're going to run into the same problem in the AL that we're quote unquote problem that we're running into in the NL, which is that a guy who has basically become an everyday position player, which I'm not disputing the value of that, is going to win it over, I think, what's objectively more spectacular pitching, right? Because I feel like Mason Miller was the presumptive answer to this question for a decent chunk of the season. And now where does he stand? Like, is the fact that he's only thrown fewer than 50 innings just going to limit that?
Potentially. I mean, where would your vote fall? I think when we look at the Rookie of the Year race, I think the Skeens, Merrill race, it's like, all right, we got a guy that plays every day and we have a starter that's going to give you, 100 and what do you think he's going to land on? 140 innings? Something like that?
Yeah. Wait, Skeens or Heel?
Skeens.
No, I think he's going to throw fewer than that. I think
120?
He's 120, 130. But anyway, point stands.
So then when you go with a guy like Cowser, who's going to end up playing 150 games, maybe?
Yeah.
Versus a reliever, I'm going to go with the guy that's going out there playing 150 games.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly justifiable. I'm not taking some sort of anti-Cowser perspective. I don't know, man. I just feel like, you look at something like win probability added for Mason Miller, and he's the clear-cut answer in the AL, given the leverage that he's dealing with as a closer and stuff like that. I find it odd to find myself advocating for the 50-inning relief pitcher in an award voting over the everyday position player, but with the caveat that I'd like to spend more time analyzing the AL Rookie of the Year race before committing one way or another, I do think Mason Miller would get my vote right now over Cowser.
I mean, no one could say like you're wrong for that. I don't know that I agree.
No, I think there are some wrong answers, but I do think Heel, Miller, and Cowser feel like they're, it feels like the first tier. So actually, now that we've gotten into this, I haven't, and you brought up Cowser. I'm interested to hear you not aggressively advocating for Abreu's candidacy.
Cowser's played more games.
Yeah.
Willier. I mean, I love Willier. I think
on a rate perspective, though, he's been better than Cowser in a lot of ways, right?
Defensively, it's not even close in favor of Cowser.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Yeah. Not that that's like the only separator. I think, would you say offensively, it's almost a wash?
I think it's close to a wash. I do think Abreu has been more productive on a per plate appearance or per at-bat basis. But
yeah.
You're correct in attempting to balance that advantage with the fact that Cowser has, 90 or so more plate appearances. That is value too.
It's a 126 weighted runs created plus versus 119 weighted runs created plus for Cowser.
Yeah. Which are not different types of contributions. They're the same general, but Abreu's is better. I just think assuming he can stay on the field for the remainder of the season, it feels like his name will be one that we have to reckon with, quote unquote, at some point. If his offensive production stays objectively higher than Cowser's, only he plays in, 25 or 30 fewer games. How are we balancing that? It's an interesting field. I don't think it's the most interesting AL Rookie of the Year field in recent history, but I think that, and it's certainly in a lot of ways, it's not the names that we expected to be at the top either, which isn't bad. But I do think it's interesting in that you have a handful of players who are carving out unique arguments for themselves for that award.
Sure.
You have a relief representative, you have a starting pitcher representative, presuming that Heel can get back on the field. And you have, the everyday position player type guys in Abreu and Cowser from that end too. So
I'm sure Yankee fans are sitting here being like, what about Austin Wells? What about Austin Wells?
Okay.
I'm not going to discount Austin Wells, but I think he gets sucked off and wins above replacement because of the position that he plays defensively. I mean, I'm not saying that there's no value in being a great defensive catcher and all that, but I would rather have a great defensive outfielder.
Yeah, and in fairness, like if I'm going to take a Yankees fan's perspective on this, just since we're kind of riffing, his offensive production, at least using the weighted runs created plus that you referenced earlier, is
Similar
not
to
fundamentally different from Cowser. So,
Yeah.
You have a guy who's, as you said, providing a defensive value that Cowser really can't hope to match. That's that's another interesting, unique argument from a player as to why he should be the AL Rookie of the Year. So, yeah, I wouldn't have Austin Wells as the winner right now, but
He has
if you
130 less plate appearances than Cowser.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. But if you want to throw him as kind of the fourth or fifth guy in this conversation, I think that's totally fine right now, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Let's do some math here. Yeah, he basically has north of a month fewer games played than Cowser.
Yep, and he'll have to overcome that. But to your point, on a per game basis, he's providing a defensive value that is he's getting
undeniable.
Sucked off, quote unquote, from WAR, but it's also an undeniable edge over Cowser or obviously Abreu.
Yes, outstanding defensively is Austin Wells. I will give him that.
So if you're listening, Austin, outstanding defensively is what you should take away from this.
Big time. Yoshinobu Yamamoto tossed a sim game. They are eyeing a mid-September return for Yamamoto. If I'm trying to put myself in a Dodger fan position, and it's like you've got Clayton Kershaw, who they're rolling out there in bubble wrap, just hoping that he can go 4 or 5 innings, whatever it is. Like, you can't depend on Clayton Kershaw. You've got Tyler Glasnow, who has hit the injured list for now the second time. This time it's with the elbow. And then Yamamoto is eyeing to return in mid-September. So you've got 3 starts to figure out if this guy is right before the playoff starts. Like, I don't want to be Mr. Pessimistic here. It's good news that Yamamoto is returning, but you don't have a ton of time to get him right and figure out and stretch him out as well. It's like, hey, postseason starts and we're kind of going out there with a bunch of dudes that we don't know what they're going to be able to give us.
Oh, I mean, my anxiety would be, I don't know if I ever said this when we were talking about Glasnow, but my reaction to that injury was that this was the first injury that the Dodgers had suffered that made me fundamentally reassess my comfort level with them as World Series contenders or deep postseason run team. Every injury prior to that, I felt A, there was enough time to overcome, or B, in the case of something like Mookie Betts, he'll come back. Or in the case of, a Yamamoto, well, there's enough pitching here that they're going to be able to get by either from people that are returning or people that are already here. But we're now in, August 22nd or whatever it is, and we're talking about a mid-September return to functioning basically as a major leaguer for Yamamoto. Given the expectations of this season, I would be my anxiety would be extremely high as a Dodgers fan. We can wax poetic about Clayton Kershaw, and Joey can rightly mention the stat that when the guy takes the mound, he's generally been very effective, even if we treat him as kind of semi-washed up and on the verge of retiring. But the problem isn't really his regular season effectiveness over 4 or 5 or 6 inning bursts where he's handled very gingerly. The issue is what quantity are we ever getting from him? And B, is it going to play in the postseason? Like, I'm not a Clayton Kershaw can't perform in the postseason guy, but that it doesn't matter what it's a reduced version of Clayton Kershaw. We know what the last time in the postseason looked like. We were together at the time, all of us. It was a disaster. The game was over before it had begun against the D-backs in that Clayton Kershaw postseason start. So this team cannot survive if what we're talking about is Kershaw and whatever this version of Walker Buehler is logging real important postseason starts for this team. I think it needs 2 of Glasnow, Flaherty, and Yamamoto to be what this team wants it to be, or it needs Walker Buehler to pitch in a fundamentally different way than he's pitched since returning from injury. And I don't really know what to make of the Bobby Miller stuff. So just kind of putting him aside for a second, but I'm hoping for the best because in a sense, Yamamoto individually has been the single biggest disappointment for me this year, and not because he's not good. We saw that he was good. It's that I don't feel like I ever got to wrap my arms around like the Yamamoto like experience, or that like right when he was getting going or hitting his stride is when he got hurt. So I'm just very excited to see him back. I just don't know what sort of impact we can expect in the postseason hothouse. Time will tell, I guess.
Not to give any anxiety there to Dodger fans, but I mean, it's being real about the situation. Johnny Cueto got a standing ovation last night at the K.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool moment for him. Can't forget his contributions to that 2015 World Series championship team in Kansas City. Jayhay, looks like you have a thought there.
No, the only thing I wanted to add is that's why I was going to bring him up, and I'm glad you brought up 2015. I saw a tweet from an old Baseball Prospectus guy. I mean, maybe he's not old, but he used to write for Baseball Prospectus, and he said that Salvador Perez is the last man standing from the 2015 Royals World Series is not surprising, but that Johnny Cueto is the second to last person standing as a major leaguer from that team unequivocally has to be damn near shocking, because like Johnny Cueto was like the veteran of that team. He was 29 years old at the time, obviously not the oldest guy on the team, but he was 29 years old at the time. And he's still kicking around, making these spot starts where, a lot of people that were kind of viewed as, up and coming players are no longer there. Like you go down that roster, Hosmer, Infante, Alcides Escobar, Moustakas, Alex Gordon, Lorenzo Cain, Alex Rios, Kendrys Morales, Ben Zobrist, Gerard Dyson, Volquez, Ventura, obviously rest in peace, Danny Duffy, Greg Holland, Kelvin Herrera, Wade Davis, they're all gone.
Yeah.
They're all gone. And Johnny Cueto's still here. So I know it's, with due respect, it's kind of gimmicky at this point, I guess, because he's 38 years old and making spot starts for, the White Sox, Marlins, and Angels over the last 3 seasons. But he's so unique in how he pitched and kind of just like the Johnny Cueto vibe. That as far as I'm concerned, he can be like a Bartolo Colon light if he wants, and like keep trying to pitch for as long as that dude wants to. Not that he needs my permission, but like from a viewing perspective, I'll tune in and catch a little bit of Johnny Cueto until he decides he wants to hang it up.
Yeah. All right. Do you have Nuggs, Jay? Oh yeah, we actually have to give some factors for some series this weekend.
I'm ready to go.
Fire it off.
My series to watch is the Astros at Orioles. So they're playing in Baltimore, obviously 2 of the best teams in the AL, 2 very likely postseason teams that could see each other. And the factor that I'm identifying here as the overwhelming reason for why the Astros will take this series is because I really like how the starting pitching lines up for Houston in this series. They are throwing some of their best, whereas I'm a lot less confident in the options that the Orioles are trotting out quickly. We have Arrighetti, Brown, Framber Valdez, and Kikuchi for the Astros, whereas it's Corbin Burns, Povich, Suarez, and Rogers for the Orioles. And quick little mini nug here to further sell that this is the factor in the series is that Corbin Burns over his last 3 starts, aka all of his August starts, has allowed 21 hits and 16 runs in 15 innings pitched. So not only has he taken a huge chunk out of his Cy Young candidacy in the AL, but he's just objectively not pitched very well. And he's the best guy going, obviously, in the series for the Orioles. So I'm going to put on the board here that the starting rotation is why the Astros will win at least 3 out of the 4 in the series against the Orioles.
I'm going to pivot because originally we had Dallas factored in for this segment. And I think I was going to go like the Red Sox D-back series. And I was going to talk about how the offenses were going to be, or actually I was going to talk about the Red Sox bullpen being a factor in that series because I think that series is going to be a slugfest between Boston and the D-backs. But I'm going to pivot to the Mets-Padres series this weekend with major wild card implications as the Padres currently sit 4 games up of the Braves. They're tied with the D-backs. and the New York Mets sit a game and a half back of those Atlanta Braves. Big 3-game set this weekend. This is a 4-game set that starts tonight.
As is mine, just for the record. Yep.
Yes, 4-game series that starts tonight. You got Severino, Cease. You got Paulie Punch Myself versus Joe Musgrove. Peterson versus King, and Quintana versus Perez Day, the lefty, going on Sunday. Yeah, I mean, this is a big series for both teams. I think it's going to come down to the starting pitching here. I think you've got the Mets are coming in red hot. I don't know if you saw that celebration yesterday, the Jesse Winker walk-off bomb. I know some people were upset about it. It's like, what do you like? He's excited. He came to a new team. He had a combative relationship with the fan base, and now he's a cult hero for the Mets. Of course, he's going to be excited. And the Mets are, for whatever has been said about the Mets this year, it's been a shit show, but it's always a shit show with the Mets. It is, they're still in it. They're a game and a half out. Like, for whatever reason, they're just battling, they're fighting, and they are going up against a team that sits in front of them that begins tonight in a 4-game series. So that'll be a big series to watch this weekend. And I've got the starting pitching matchups being a big factor in this one.
Well, just like you're noticing a theme here, just like factor is great value, great taste, and great nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
We're identifying starting pitching on both of our series as the key factor here.
Well,
So,
I mean, if you look at the ERAs, right, going head to head, there's no lopsided matchup in the series. Severino, 391. Cease, 346. Blackburn, 419, going up against Musgrove, 497. Peterson, 3, going up against King, 318. Quintana, 457, going up against Perez, 467. There's no, like, ace going up against a scrub in this series. It's pretty well balanced.
and where's the series happening?
I believe they're in San Diego this weekend.
Okay.
Yep,
All right.
they're
So
in
you're
San
not
Diego.
going to have the New York crowd punching themselves along with Paulie Punch Myself. So you know that you got to factor that in. He typically does way worse on the road.
That's right. It's true.
That's actually true.
That is true.
Whether it's because people aren't punching themselves in the stands, I don't know, but
Right.
Something to watch for sure.
We got some Nuggs, Jay?
I have one signature nug today. Well, actually, I have two.
Okay.
I have one to watch for and one that's already happened. One to watch for, Chris Sale is back on the bumpy. He's got 3 straight games of double-digit strikeouts. The only Atlanta Brave in franchise history to have 4 such games, which he'll be going for today, is Spencer Strider. No lefty in Braves history has ever done it. And the last lefty to do it league-wide was Blake Snell for the Padres in June of last season. So something to watch for there. And then Aaron Judge, I know we already did the segment on him, but quick nug here. You can do so much with Aaron Judge's epic runs this season, but it was noted last night that he has 41 homers over his last 90 games played, and that struck me as obviously a lot of home runs over a 90-game span. He is the first player with at least 41 homers and 98 RBI over a 90-game span since Mark McGuire in 1999, and he's the first in the AL to do so since Roger Maris in 1961. So try as he might, Aaron Judge cannot outrun the ghost of Roger Maris or Roger Maris Jr. That guy should show up again. No, he should show up. I want to see him again. No, he should.
No, he should.
I mean, he shouldn't, but I want him to, I guess is the better way to phrase it. He definitely should not. That'd be so awkward and weird. It's like, dude, he already broke your record. Loser.
Jake's takes?
I think it was just another great installment of the Triple J Hour. I think maybe next merch drop, we might have to get Corey on some of those shirts.
Triple J?
Triple J.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm obviously all in. I'll wear one.
Yeah.
Got to have our faces.
Mm-hmm. Baseballsdeadmerch.com.
Hell yeah.
Baseball's Dead merch is out. People have been buying merch. We really appreciate all the support. Another great week of Baseball is Dead in the books. Very excited to get that vlog out. We've been vlogging this week. Did a little week in the life, a little behind the scenes, a little BTS, all the shit that I've been doing this week. And then
your life.
Yes. Well, I mean, I guess it's the pods.
I'm just kidding.
It's got the pods in there. Then tonight, the old time baseball game. We'll be vlogging that.
That's nice.
And then we'll round it out.
Good work on that live action.
Yeah. We'll round it all out tomorrow with an appearance on MLB Network, Off Base, 4 p.m. It's great that I don't have to go to Secaucus. Very excited. I'm going to be doing it right here. I'm going to be sitting right here. So,
love that. The best kind of MLB Network hit.
Do you have a word that you want to give me, Jayhay, to try and sneak in during the show as an acknowledgement that I'm thinking about you?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
Blimp.
Blimp. Okay. I will drop a blimp at some point during my MLB Network.
And what time's that hit?
4 p.m. Eastern.
Great.
Off Base.
Very excited for it.
I'm going to sneak a blimp in there.
And I'll be watching. Wait, that's today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be watching.
Friday.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. Check out the D-Row interview from yesterday if you missed it. It was very great. He's awesome. Thank you to MLB Network for lending his services to the podcast. And we'll enjoy your weekend of baseball. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And we'll see you right back here on Monday morning with more Baseball is Dead. We'll see you then. Bye-bye. Wow.